My name is Shirley Sanderson from Basin. I wasn't born and raised here. I come from Atakaco Preserve. I came here in 1962. I was only 12 years old when I moved here with my sister, and my brother-in-law was an Anglican minister. So I've been here since then, got married here. I have 7 daughters and 2 sons left. My oldest died 5 years ago. Got a lot of grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So it was a very quiet reserve, and lots have changed since 1962. A lot of people, our elders that were here, have left us. People that were knowledgeable, they're mostly all gone now. Growing up here, might as well say, it was nice. Back home, when I left, I was only 12 years old. Coming here was a big change, different. A lot of these young people, well, they're getting older now. Were in residential school. I remember when they were coming back. So my ex-husband was a residential school survivor too. I met him when he was 15 and I was 13 when I met him. Got married in '66. I was only 15 years old when I got married. It was our tradition back home. At the age of 12, you were considered a woman, and a boy at the age of 12 too. They used to do womanhood ceremonies, manhood ceremonies back home. I still go by that tradition. Culture, I still have my language, Cree, Plains Cree language. So it was kind of different here when I came. Hardly any, well, some talked Cree, the older people. But the young people that just came back were different. So this is how I lived here in James Smith since '62. A lot of change since then. Long ago they used to do some ceremonies here too, remembering back. The church people, the traditional people worked together at that time. But all the elders that used to do that are gone now. They used to gather a lot at the sports ground or here at there used to be an old hall down a hill, and what you call those buildings where Indian agent lived. William Head was the chief at that time. So I only traveled back home once in a while because my sister and my brother-in-law left. Going back home, it was different, culture and everything. At that time, already I met Jacob. And our way of our culture. Once you met a man, a guy, boy, you were already told, just like you had to marry him. There's a lot of ways that I've seen through my years. Traditional marriages, arranged marriages. Growing up back home. Go to school in the morning till 3:30. After 3:30, used to be a lot of visitors, mainly elders that visit each other in that community. Go and learn from a book at school. After school, they'd make us sit in a circle on the floor. And they'd talk to us about life in the future, life at that age, what a young man and a young woman were to learn from their knowledge. We'd fall asleep while they were talking. Get up, they'd still be sitting there talking. Till the sun went down, that's when they kind of kept things quiet. Today, totally different. This is how I try and raise my children. They've learned the language from my mom and dad, but slowly even them are losing it. The time of my mom and dad reaching their 70th anniversary in 1989. The oldest couple ever in Canada at that time. My dad passed away not long after that. Then my mom died of loneliness. So, this is when I moved back. At that time, it was difficult to lose our elders, our main teachers, knowledge keepers. Because the way I was taught back home, day after day, our grannies, the older woman, there was always a special ceremony done for girls and boys. Moontime ceremonies. We were kept away in another house. And then they'd do a feast, a big feast after. The boys were taken up a hill where they went and learned how to become a man. They were brought down to at the same time as us 4 days, 4 nights they'd spend. Time up there alone on top of a hill in a bush. How to become hunters, all these things they were taught to them. And us girls, we were taught about life givers, because a girl was taught and talked to about life giving. A boy, how to be a caregiver, how to hunt, how to look after a woman once they had a woman and children. The language that they taught us with the Cree, we understood things right away through the language. Hardly anybody talked English that time. Maybe just the teachers at the school. And I've never ever seen an elder open a book to talk to you from that, from the heart. They stood there. If there was any problem at school or anywhere, the community used to get together, sit around, talk about things, the problem, and the problems were solved. So this is how I was brought up. Well, today now, in this community, things are changing. As elders at the school, we go to the school, talk about things, about how I was brought up, how I lived. Still today, I go by my culture, my language. These are the things our young people love hearing. They'll ask a lot of questions. Why don't we bring that back? So they really want that. Not only the students, there's people in the reserve that are slowly coming back to culture. Sweats that we have, all these things. Cultural days. Taking the young men, as they said they want to take them hunting, trapping. And the young woman, to teach them the sewing part, beadwork, and how to cook and how to become a woman. So I do this a lot. I work at the school off and on, but I do a lot of work with health too. A lot of places I work that need this culture back, to come back into their reserves. The language, they're slowly starting that, talking their language. When I go to the school, they'll look at me and ask me, why aren't you reading off a book? And I tell them, no, this is how I was brought up. So I talk English and translate things into Cree. Oh, they love. High school kids are really into that. Coming here a few years, maybe 4 years before I came here, I was called back home. My mom and dad, a family. My dad's grandpa was the first 3 to 6 signer, Chief Atakako. They have passed the blanket, 3 to 6 blanket to me. And I had an uncle, but he passed away just past fall. He had the 3 to 6 medal that he kept. So I don't know where. Maybe his daughters have that. But today when I talk things about treaty, the schools, traveling around, this is what they really want to, because they're going to be our future leaders. This is what they always want to ask and hear about. And the way our young people today, they're struggling the life. It was easy life long ago. Yeah, we did a lot of things without power, without anything. This is why our communities have lost the real traditional way of life. Today our communities are crying out to bring back language, the traditions. Language is our medicine. To hear a young person asking me, what can I do? How can I go about this way of life? And I talk to them about that. You know, a lot of our young people have dreams, visions that they share with me. What they see that's here already, that when they were small. Some don't forget their dreams. Lots cry out for help. They see how hard it is. This way of life, the fast way of life, I call it, technology and everything. Long ago, we never had power, nothing. But we had a lot of visionaries, they call them, that dream. Sitting around in a circle after schools, they used to tell us what was coming. One day you will see something come into your house, a black wire, square, they used to call it. At that time, you are going to see life change. You are going to see that there is going to be bright lights inside. Nobody had those. You go to the cupboard, you turn a little thing on, nippy will come out, water. We used to haul water. Coal oil lamps, everything that's here today they used to talk about. You will see the future changing. You will see there's going to be something on a wall. And you're going to lift that up and there's people going to be talking from there. And the other thing, this old man told us, you will see like a big window, a window, but it's not going to be a window. This is going to be people you will see moving in there. You know, it used to kind of scare us, the stories, things they were telling us. And the other thing too, he said, I see people will be holding something here, a little thing. That is going to take the minds away. People are not going to even visit each other. Even your own brother or sister living across the road, you will never walk there to visit. That thing is going to take minds away. Here it's a cell phone today. That's going to shorten a lot of life. That's going to make a lot of trouble, a lot of problems. Today, I see everything I never thought I'd ever see those. What this old man told us, what was coming. We used to go around by wagons, horses. even that, there's going to be a motor, how would I say it? A ski kostapa nask, car, truck. You will see those. The horses will be put aside, our livelihood. Because we used to travel by horses to other reserves to go to ceremonies, visit, even as far as Onion Lake, Thundertal, you name them. We did this by horses. And it used to be a long trail of us to go and visit our relatives. At that time, growing up, a lot of our young women were told, a lot of our young men, a community, we're all related. You cannot have a boyfriend or a girlfriend from this community. The bloodline runs through the whole community. So a lot of our young women married out, our brothers. This is why we used to go by horses to go and visit the ones that married out, becoming to come and go and see other relatives that they married into. A lot of changes today that I see in communities where I travel, where I go and work. The young people today are different from the way, even here, growing up here, the young people were so respectful. We used to visit each other. We were told when the sun goes down, everybody go home. Used to be an old man, I forget his name, a Burns, that used to walk back and forth on the road, check the hall, see if there was any young people hanging around there. Even here, that's what they were used to do. Talking to my own children, my own daughters and sons, my grandchildren about this. They're slowly picking it up, but the only thing is the language. A lot of our young people, it's that technology that's taken their mind away from things that the old people want to teach them, want to share stories. But today our young people are too much into it. Even from the 2 3-year-olds, they're throwing that thing to them. It's hard to look and watch that. The way our elders, even here, they used to talk about that. Life is going to change. You will see. You will see that life. Everybody's going to go everywhere. They won't go on that route to visit each other. Today I see that. We used to walk back and forth visiting. Going down the hill, there was a lot of houses right up to where, what's his name, lives. the heads way up the hill. There used to be ceremonies done along the river too. We'd take a walk down the river, bunch of us girls. In the summer, used to be a lot of white people down there fishing, having picnics. People used to go down there. We used to see halfways down the river. I seen there was ceremonies done down there, hidden ceremonies. Back home too. The way things have changed so fast. Technology is the main thing our young people. They learn too fast from that. But a lot are slowly slowing down. They want to get back to the culture, the language. Today we have a lot of powwow dancers in our reserve. We do the sweats, my place. A lot of young people come in there. A lot of our young people want to know how life was a long time ago. I share a lot of stories with them. Back home, it was always storytelling. You had to sit there and listen. All these ceremonies that were done for us, the sun dance, horse dance ceremonies, chicken dance, goose dance. These were all done for a certain time when something happened. Traveling to other reserves, as I said, horses, taking us to other ceremonies. This was our life back then. And here, even coming here, I seen a lot of that. There used to be a lot of horse, wagons, visiting each other. They used to do, might as well say, hidden ceremonies here too. Because walking down the river, as I said, we used to hear these drums. But I knew what it was, a sweat. And I used to tell the girls and the boys that used to walk down the hill what it was. They slowly understood, but it was hard, even back home. There was no children allowed, hardly any woman allowed in sweats. They used to go and do that away out in the bush, where the community away out, hiding from the Indian agent. My dad, my uncles, told me one time, first time a white Indian agent came there, found out that they had a sweat. They tore it down. This was the time when they used to bring rations to our people. They must have followed somebody up here, my dad used to say. They used to have it way on top the hill. Why they had it on top the hill, the road went down. They used to see who was coming. A man would be standing there, a helper, to check. check if anybody was coming. So they didn't see the Indian agent or the helper of that Indian agent going up. So the sweat was torn down. The kids were always held back. A lot of us tried to follow. Where are they going? What are they doing? This is why ceremonies were kind of close just to old men, the men. But once it opened, communities started opening. Slowly the Indian agents were slowly going away. This is when the ceremonies were brought out. Sun dances, all these ceremonies that they used to do, they started to move, all over again in the open. But at that same time, women were hardly let to go in. But now today, even our young women need a lot of help. They need to know the spirituality of our way of life. Things today, as I said, it's hard. A lot of people are crying out, all tribes. That's all I hear going to different workshops. That they need to bring back the elders' knowledge, the elders' way of life that they had here. As I said before, talking to our young people, this one young man wanted to know why we are called First Nations. So I had to tell them. First, why we're called First Nations, the Creator was the one that made Mother Earth and created us. This is why we are called First Nations. We are the color of Mother Earth. There are four colors of people that are given, four spirits in this world. As First Nations, Mother Earth. The second, the black, our relatives. Them, they have the air, the wind spirit. The third, our relative, the Chinese, Japanese. They have the water spirit. The fourth is our relative, the white man. Got the power today, what we see, everything. We have learned a lot. These weren't taught to us through books. Our elders used to talk a lot about things that I see today. How did they know of all these four cultures that have these spirits? My grandpa used to say it's through dreams. In the future you will see the young people having visions. They want to talk about them, but they're put down. You have to listen and bring back that. The visions that they have, they're going to help in the future. sit down and listen to them, you will know what they are talking about, what they are crying for. This is what I do. I sit with a lot of young people, trying to make them understand their dreams. And this is what they see in the future. After their dreams, after they talk about them, slowly they're starting to see what they mean. Our future life givers today are girls, are women. They need to know the real life of life giving. They are lost. They are lost today. Too much of that technology. They want to learn more from that than to sit with an elder. An elder, if you want to speak to an elder, reawaken an elder by giving them tobacco or an offering, blanket, whatever. They will reawaken. They are sitting around quiet, falling asleep, waiting for that young people to reawaken them. They have a lot of stories, a lot of knowledge. But today, a lot of our young people will say, my kokum hardly ever talks, my musul. So this is what I share with them. You hand them tobacco or cigarettes and ask them one question. From there, you will reawaken that elder. They will share a lot of knowledge. But this is what's needed today. A lot of our young people are even shy to talk about anything. Even shy to ask questions. But I know they are waiting for the language to come back to them, the culture. A lot of our young people all over are slowly changing, going back to their language. There's a lot of schools where they do a lot of cultural stuff. A lot of speaking about traditional way of life. We still have elders that have a lot of knowledge, but we have to reawaken them. That the tobacco will wake them up again, because even that tobacco was once a person. It changed his life for us, the people, to use it. The sweetgrass too was once a person. Him too gave his life up. The 3 braids that we put on the sweetgrass, he told the Creator, the people, the First Nation people that were put here on earth, I will give my life up for the people to use me in their prayers, their sicknesses. I will put myself into 3 braids, 3 strands. The first one, you tie me up. This is for the whole community or relatives that we tie, the family. From there, You will take 3 strands. The first one that you're going to put in there is love. The middle one, faith. Have faith in everything. The last one is hope that life someday will come back as the way it is today when it first gave up its life. This is what our elders always talk about, the sweet grass. You braid those down and tie it into a knot. That means the whole community. Not only that, I used to hear them talk about what we see today, the water, take it easy on water, the air, the fires, the water. Don't play with water. Maybe you were told that too. Don't play with water. Someday you will see the land going dry. This is what I see today. The air is going to be different, the winds. I see everything what they talked about. Someday the winds are going to be strong. It will cleanse a lot of places. Misto, they used to call tornadoes, because we never used to have those. They will come. This is the time when it wants to clean. Clean, maybe the country, everybody. And the water, you will see some places that's going to clean off maybe cities. Well, hardly anybody seen a city long ago. You will see that. You will hear about it. The water will come to cleanse everything. But if you believe in the Creator, ask Him for help. Your prayers will be answered. Don't ever leave me out, the sweet grass said. Hard times, you break the bottom off, put it up somewhere. You smuds, you pray. While you're praying, smudging, the Creator, the grandfathers already hear you. This is why the smoke comes up. The tobacco even said that. I will help the people to smoke me, to use me. You light up a smoke today, you pray, thank the Creator. You will see the smoke going straight up. This is our grandfathers, our grandmothers. Not listen to us, our people that went ahead. Not answer our prayers. Back again. As we sit around, elders, we gather here. We talk about bringing back the real life into our community, to help one another, to help the young people learn the best life, the life stories of our knowledge keepers. Once you sit with them, they will understand. life will slowly change. Life you will see that our young people will stand up again. The community used to help bring up a child. This is what they're crying for. The community to care for each other, respect and help each other. It's my daughter here, my baby. She had a dream and she has to fulfill that dream. This summer, June 21st, it's called the Unity Ride. That she's going to start from here. Unity Ride and run all the way down south to Negani Reserve, Maple Creek area. A lot of reserves are phoning, get their youth involved. A unity ride means to unite again, because we have done this with the Americans in 1995. They rode here by horse, and we rode back with them back to the Black Hills. This is where a lot of people gathered, unite all tribes. This is what my daughter wants to do. She works a lot with the youth to bring back life to our young people, not only young people, to every community that wants to come. There's a lot of help needed today. We have to stand up again and help each other, First Nations. Through traditional way of life, the culture, it's still here. We have never ever lost it. My grannies, my grandpas used to tell me that the culture will never be lost. Yeah, it will die down for a while, but they will cry out for it. We have to stand up again and share the knowledge that you are learning here. They used to tell us sitting around in a circle. So this is what I share with a lot of communities where I go. A lot of our people are in places where they're not supposed to be. Our young women in jails, our young men. I work way down south, a woman's federal pen, and not Prince Albert where the young men are kept. So this is what we got to bring back life again to our communities. Share our stories with our young